All right, let's talk about an idea that could completely flip our world on its head. The circular bioeconomy. It's all built on one simple but honestly pretty radical idea. What if we could get rid of the whole concept of waste? Let's dive in.
So let's start with the really cool part, the incredible potential that's just hiding in plain sight, right inside the stuff we throw away every single day.
So let's just start with this one big question, because it really challenges everything we think we know. What if waste isn't actually waste? What if it's just a failure of imagination on our part? And look, this isn't some far-off futuristic theory. This stuff is happening right now. I mean, we're talking about companies creating amazing fabrics from citrus peels, really strong bioplastics from old tomato scraps, and even building materials from leftover rice straw. This is the wonder part of the equation, finding incredible value where we used to just see garbage.
Okay, so if this potential is literally all around us, what's the big problem this is all trying to solve? Well, it's the very foundation of our global economy. For the last century and a half, we've basically been running on a straight line. It's a simple path. We take resources, we make something, we use it for a bit, and then we throw it away. Take, make, dispose. But a circular model? That completely changes the game. It's designed from the start to get rid of the dispose part, creating these endless loops of reuse, remaking, and recycling. And hey, let's be fair, this linear system has given us incredible growth, no doubt about it. But that growth has come with a massive bill. We're burning through the planet's finite resources way too fast, and we're pushing our natural systems right to the edge. The bottom line is, this model just has an expiration date.
And that's where this new model comes in, the circular bioeconomy. It's basically a mashup of two really big ideas that work together perfectly. Let's break down what that actually means. So first up, you've got the circular part. The goal here is simple, but it's totally revolutionary. Eliminate waste. It's about designing things so they last, so they can be repaired, so they can be taken apart, and all those valuable components can become the raw materials for the next new thing.
This diagram breaks it down perfectly. The first strategy is to slow the loop down. You see that on the left? That just means making our stuff last longer. Think repair and reuse instead of buying new all the time. The second is to narrow the loop, which means using our resources way more efficiently, getting more bang for our buck material-wise. And finally, the big one is to close the loop, like you see with the recycling icon. This is where old products become new resources, creating a truly circular flow and, getting rid of landfills.
Now, let's add the second piece of the puzzle, the bio part. A bioeconomy is all about shifting away from finite things like fossil fuels and turning toward renewable biological resources instead. We're talking about plants, algae, even microorganisms. It's about tapping into nature's own incredible ability to produce what we need. And when you put those two ideas together, that's where the magic really happens. You get the circular bioeconomy. It's where the goal of eliminating waste meets the power of renewable natural materials. And that intersection? Well, that creates a blueprint for an economy that isn't just sustainable, but actually helps to regenerate our planet.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's zoom in on a case study with one of our oldest and most important resources, wood.
First things first, let's talk money, because it always comes down to money, right? It costs a business anywhere from $100 to $200 a ton just to dump wood waste in a landfill. That is a huge incentive to find a smarter solution. Waste isn't just bad for the environment, it's a direct hit to your wallet. And here's a fantastic example of that in action. You've got millions of old wooden posts from vineyards getting tossed out every year. So instead of landfilling them, a project started collecting them to be reused for stuff like landscaping. But, and this is super important, this also shows the real-world challenges. You have to figure out transportation, you gotta process the wood, and most importantly, you have to make sure someone actually wants to buy the final product. It's not just about having the supply, you need the demand too. And those market challenges bring up a really critical point from people in the industry. They're saying that while circularity is a great goal, you have to be careful about creating rigid, top-down rules about how a resource has to be used. They argue that for this to really work and scale up, you need a flexible, market-driven approach that encourages new ideas, not one that accidentally creates new problems. So now let's zoom back out, away from the specific examples, and look at the biggest idea of all. Because this is where the circular bioeconomy stops being just a better recycling system and becomes something else, something truly game-changing. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds like a really fancy, complicated way of talking about recycling. And yeah, in a way, that's part of it.
But the ultimate vision here is so much bigger than that. The real goal, the end game, is to completely rewire our relationship with carbon. It's about building an economy that doesn't just stop pumping more carbon into the atmosphere, but one that actually starts pulling it back out. And this diagram shows you exactly how. It all starts with the best carbon capture technology on the planet, photosynthesis. Trees and plants, as you can see, are constantly breathing in CO2 from the air. In a circular bioeconomy, we take that biomass, that captured carbon, and we turn it into long-lasting products, like the timber used for the buildings you see at the bottom. When we do that, we're not just avoiding fossil fuels. We are actively locking that atmospheric carbon away, storing it for decades, maybe even centuries. We literally start turning our cities and our homes into massive, stable carbon sinks. We'd be creating an economy that works with nature's carbon cycle, not against it.
So it all comes back to this. We've seen that we can turn what we think of as waste into something wonderful. We have a vision for an economy that can not only sustain our planet, but actually help regenerate it. The tech is there, the examples are popping up, so the final question really is, if we can do all this, what's stopping us from starting right now?